"You better stay down, old man, unless you want round two." The biker's voice cut through the air like a slap, his tattooed fist still clenched from the punch he'd just thrown. On the pavement outside Miller's bar, an 85-year-old man in a faded dress blazer stumbled back, blood trickling from his nose. People on the sidewalk froze. No one stepped forward. The man didn't yell or curse. He simply looked up at his attacker, calm but steady, and said in a voice that barely carried, "You hit the wrong soldier, son. Before we dive into the story, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. We love hearing from you." "All right, let's jump in." The biker laughed it off and strutted back toward the bar with his crew in tow, all leather vests, beer breath, and loud bravado. One of them even spit near the veteran's feet, sneering, "War stories don't mean squat anymore." Inside, the music resumed, glasses clinked, and their laughter echoed like nothing had happened. What none of them realized was who they had just humiliated. The man wasn't some helpless bystander. He was Colonel Raymond Bulldog Hayes, a decorated war hero with 2 tours in Vietnam, a Bronze Star, 3 Purple Hearts, and a Silver Star Purple Hearts, and the respect of every soldier who'd ever fought beside him. He hadn't worn his uniform in years, but his name still carried weight, heavy, thunderous weight, in the right circles. Across the street, a teenager who recognized the colonel made a quiet call. No raised voice, no panic, just one sentence. "It happened. Outside Miller's. He's hurt." Then he hung up. 18 minutes passed. That's all it took. The ground began to tremble under the quiet hum of something heavy approaching. At first it was subtle, a low growl that made windows vibrate and glasses quiver on their shelves. Then it grew louder. 6 matte black military Humvees rolled up the street in formation. Not fast, not loud, just deliberate. They didn't come with sirens or flashing lights. They didn't need to. The first Humvee halted just inches from the curb. Its door opened slowly, and out stepped a mountain of a man, Sergeant Major Torres, active duty, built like a freight train in combat boots. The rest of the convoy followed suit. More than a dozen men and women in uniform emerged, standing tall, hands behind their backs. Veterans, Rangers, Marines, soldiers from every walk of service, moving in tight formation with eyes only for the bar. Inside, the music cut off. Conversations died mid-sentence. The biker who had thrown the punch turned toward the door as it creaked open again. This time not with fear, but with absolute confusion. Torres stepped through like a storm cloud, glancing slowly around the room before locking eyes with the biker. He removed his gloves with deliberate precision and said calmly, "Which one of you laid hands on Colonel Hayes?" No one answered. The biker, still riding the high of his earlier arrogance, stepped forward and tried to puff his chest. "I don't care who he was. He disrespected me. Got in my space." He glanced at his crew for backup, but no one looked back. From behind, the door opened once more. 2 soldiers helped Colonel Hayes into the bar. This time he stood taller. The blood was wiped clean, his blazer was buttoned, and his presence, calm, commanding, silenced even the toughest in the room. Hayes looked at the man who hit him, his voice steady as steel. "You thought I was weak because I'm old. But I've faced death in jungles. I've held brothers in my arms as they bled out for your freedom. You? You couldn't last 5 minutes under real fire." The biker looked away, lips pressed together, but Hayes wasn't done. He turned slightly, and every soldier behind him snapped to attention, forming a silent wall of reverence and power. "You didn't just hit me," Hayes continued. "You hit every one of us." Torres took a step forward, locking eyes with the biker again. "There's a code. You don't touch a veteran, especially not one who bled for this country." Then, with no threats, no violence, just gravity, he added, "We're not here to hurt you. We're here to let the colonel decide what happens next." But Hayes didn't retaliate. He didn't demand revenge. He just turned to leave. "He's not worth the effort," he said. "Let's go." As the soldiers turned to follow him out, the biker suddenly stammered, "Wait, I didn't know who he was." The room held its breath. Torres turned back, unflinching. "Doesn't matter if you knew. Respect is given, not because of who someone is, but because of what they've done." Outside, the convoy reloaded. Hayes was helped into the lead Humvee. The engines roared to life again, not in aggression, but in honor. As they pulled away, people who had once stood in silence now clapped. Some saluted, some just watched in awe, ashamed they hadn't stood up sooner. Don't judge a man by his wrinkles or the years on his face. Some of the strongest warriors carry their battles in silence, not swagger. And sometimes, when you strike one, a whole army answers. Everyone sees things differently. Tell me how this story felt to you and what you would do if you were in their place. If this story touched you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments below.